Hi, my name is Terry. Your boy Terry is my username across the internet, and this is going to be a short video directed at the Bag family kids. For this particular video, it's to James. I'll keep it short. I may be a bit disoriented. I just did a previous video that's more than 1 hour long for the entire Bag family kids. But this one is for James and sort of a response to Sweet Juicy Daddy, basically, where he posed the question whether people will subscribe to James if he started a YouTube channel, and the answer is a ginormous yes. I would. I'm interested in James. You know, he has a character that is interesting, you know, mystery, like he has a certain mystery to him, and sometimes that's what we lose out on, and we no longer become interesting, where we lose out on our mystery. We become so predictable that we become regular like every other person. But that's one beautiful quality to James. He has some mystery to him, and that's maintained, and that's very beautiful. He also has some the gift of pondering. Not everyone is inclined to doing that. You know, you pose him a simple question and he still erupts his ponder capabilities, you know, to give an answer that turns out mystical. Very beautiful. So I'm telling you the truth, he's the most scarce one. Anytime James is there, even down to his tiniest of mannerisms, is strong enough to appeal to my soft spot. And if he can appeal to my soft spot, he can appeal to the soft spot of many, because I have seen many things. So yes, very beautiful. I mean, and I feel, based on the small times I've seen the family and their reaction, that Nadia spots these things of James, and you know, she likes to look out for him in the video. She likes to stare conversation with him, and she can relate with the resulting humor, you know, because of his mystic or mysticalness or mysteriousness. It comes out with some humor. I can't remember what I watched last, where oh gosh, my memory is short. He featured recently. Oh gosh, I can't remember. And my battery is low. I'd like to play the video just to trigger my memory. But I think in the snail video, the recent video, he was asked a simple question and he gave an intriguing answer. Very simplistic answer, but intriguing all the same. And that's just very beautiful. And I've watched a lot about him. What do you want to become? He likes sports. You know, his comments where Sweet Juicy Mama grew older, and yes, he has that side to him, and he has a certain humility to him, a certain readiness to him. You know, when Nadia says, "Oh, let's go run," and likability to him, realness. These things you don't buy it. You know, sometimes it's inborn. You know, realness. You know, it doesn't need to be flamboyant. You know, just pose in a corner and his aura fills the room. You know, he doesn't need to wear the fancy clothes, but he still manages to carry himself with some swag. Yes, there's so much beauty there, and it's not just physical. It's not just physical, it's a gift. And of course, in this video, it doesn't need to do much. It just needs to be that James, and that's lovable in itself. So yes, do a video, and you have it in your family. This is inborn, and it's a gift. My family has its own gift as well, and my parents knew of this. You know, they established it, and it does exist, something called likability, and it happens. You know, my sister, my smallest sister is in USA now. She went there without anything, without a dime, without anything. I came to the Philippines without anything. I wasn't turning to anyone. And even when the situation became so terrible, and I had to stand up to get a job. There was a time, because I don't believe in jobs, I like to innovate, and but there was a time when I had a last dime, and I'd had only one close. And then on that particular day, I called a job center, and I said, I really want to get a job and stuff like that. And they told me to come to their office, and I told them that I won't be able to come to their office. I don't have a dime. Can they contact like a manager to try to interview me online, so that when I come there, I'm just coming for the job straight up, and I don't have a dime. I just have glass. I just explained it, and the person did call the manager, and they interviewed me. And I finished the interview, and they told me to hold on, and they came back and they said, okay, come for your contract. So I went with my last dime and a raggedy shirt. And when I went there, I finished the contract signing. They gave me the contract, a big pamphlet or a folder containing the contract. And when I came downstairs, someone saw me and told me, oh, are you looking for a job? I said no, that I got a job from here. But it was persistent, and I've not eaten that day. It was in the evening, and they said, don't worry, he will drive me to another job center, and there's free meal there. So I went, not because of the food, but because of the locality. So he told me of the locality, and when he mentioned the locality, it was like a place where I see potential for, like becoming CEO or something like that, because that place is where you see the Ferraris and stuff like that. So I'm envisioning that the people that are working there are likely from that locality, and there's better potential there, besides job, to meet someone that's, like innovation and stuff like that, So I went, I ate, and in the first interview, it was a foreign, someone from Germany or so, from UK, that interviewed me. And I was holding the paper of the other job. Normally, you will hide that paper. I don't really know about jobs, but that's not my style. I'm always myself. So I told them, during the interview, why do you want to get a job and stuff like that? I think the question came up, and I told them that I just came from another job, and this is the contract and stuff like that. And I just told them everything, and they called me to come further the procedure. I was shocked, not shocked. I wasn't shocked, but that will be shocking for the most part, with my one shirt, and it wasn't a good looking shirt. So I got to the final stage, and the final stage was 1 a.m. They said a particular bus will come, and then I waited. And when I waited, I was waiting with two other people that are from the Philippines, and I was seated with them. I didn't know that we're in competition. I just thought we were all going for an interview, until I got employed, and the boss told me that those other people were the final stage, and it was me. And I was having one old shirt, and so I got the job. The boss asked me, why will I be punctual? Will I be punctual considering that I'm coming from far? And I put it to him. I said, that is reliant on you. If you're vibrant, you're energetic, because for this we'll need inspiration and stuff like that. So I thought I wouldn't get the job, but I did get the job. I started, and while I was working, I was surpassing Google. I was the only one that could, was given the privilege basically, but I said likability is a gift of doing everything that nobody else can. I care about people. I don't care about my minutes. Someone is looking for help, I'll care about them and my minutes. I'm not about career ladder and stuff like that. Trample on my brother, then climb career ladder. But I inculcated in my boss the ability to overlook these things, to become brother himself. My boss used to remove me for coaching, and I will be the coach. He will allow me to. and everybody will be angry because they want coaching time, you know. But my boss used to do that because he started to realize that I was trying to surpass Google. You know, internet was blocked on the entire computers, but my boss would give me his laptop to use and sometimes give me access to an open internet on the PC while I'm doing call centers. And then the guards will come, but I became friends with all the guards. I started to play basketball and I would meet the guards in the basketball, became friends with them, and they will all come to my station and they will pass. I became friends with the top boss because I would write bright ideas, want to look at their system, their automated system, and try to give ideas. And the bosses will read it, and the bosses from USA as well. Then I became friends with her husband. That her husband is the only one till today that will listen to my ideas, that will connect me with, if I tell him, oh, let's have a meeting, connect me with other big people. Like boss and worker relationship. Here, there's disparity, a boss is usually a boss to an extent, so, and the first job I ever had when I first came to Philippines, because I didn't know anything and I didn't have any dime, so I needed to try. And the first place I attempted, I got a job. The final interview there was 5 women in the panel. And there was one question they asked me. They said, what is my age? I am new to the Philippines, I didn't know. I stayed there for only 3 months because I didn't really believe in work. So in this other job, I was doing surpassing Google there. Internet, I was, writing, I was building my enterprise model. I keep them in drafts. And nobody can read it, but I just put it out there. From there, people used to try to decode my sentences, and then they will come to a chat and find me. So I had an open chat, and it grew to 5,000 members on a Discord channel, and I could no longer cope with the channel any longer. I used to do 10 hours talk. So that's how I started to lose out on sleep. I'll go to work all night, then go back home, and I'll be doing the internet stuff. I had a community, 10 hours of talk, where people will be listening to me. I'll be my projects and all that. I was evolving it, and I'll create tags that will incite a reaction and have many people participate and stuff like that. So the boss was letting me with the PC, and I used to jeer the boss up. To look into bigger things and stuff like that. Then I had only one person in the whole group that would always listen to me. I did training with him, and he continued with me. And I was able to keep talking to the boss till he left the job and went to look for, he got a better job in Dubai. And then the person that was beside me became the new boss, and I left. But the person that was beside me, he got issues. Everybody was jealous of him because he's new, just 1 year old or so, and he is now the boss. Yes, one other interview, I had 5 in the panel, and they asked me what's my, sort of like James, the type of answers I give sometimes is baffling. I ponder just a bit and then strike an answer, but that is me. That is just me. I'm not trying to impress, and that is an evolving version of me. So I'm always in a state of evolution. So they asked me what is my edge. They see me as a foreigner or something like that. So they say, what is my edge? Employing me versus employing, people that they consider are from the Philippines. So I told them that my edge is, I pondered just a bit, and there were 5 girls. And I said that my edge, I was thinking of an answer, and I told them they can find it in a booklet downstairs. And they didn't understand it. Maybe it was like 5th floor, around the topmost floor. So I told them that there's a booklet where you sign in at the beginning of the building, the security guard area, the receptionist area, that is where my edge is. It can be seen there. So they said, they were reluctant a bit, but They just gave it a benefit of a doubt and they called. Then security guard brought the booklet up and I showed them. I just scanned through the page where I wrote and it was there, my writing. The way it was dented, the formation of the writing different from an entire book. I'm telling you, there are entire countries where large expanse of people share the same identity. The writing is the same type of writing, same type of, you see, so my own stood out, differently. And in Africa they used to beat us to have good writing, and your writing will never be good. You can't just capture everybody into the same identity. I don't know, the genes are stubborn, but there are entire places where writing is similar. Mannerisms, identity is shared. It does exist. So they saw it and it was like a bizarre answer. I would think I would not get the job. They told me to leave, but they did contact me, and that was how I got my first job. And I spent only 3 months there. And after 3 months, I was on the streets, so I really went through a lot of hardship in the Philippines, a lot of different types of living style, in hustle mode. And here I was alone, nobody to turn to, even in conversation that, wants to really do much, or wants to care about anything more than the next meal and stuff like that. But in the midst of all that, the name Surpassing Google was coined. All my innovation models were in the making, the enterprise model. Now I'm talking of the algorithms, shaping. So it's not just about the interface, it's more about the dynamics, the paradigms. That's where the beauty is. So I was shaping all that, going from stage to stage in my evolution. Then at a particular stage, knowledge will arrive, insight from above, and that happens in the snap of a finger. Everything comes about, and if I don't know programming, it will come about. Very simple, because in reality, many things are simple, very, very simple. The most complex mathematics equation, just add in some English, and it will become non-equation. X plus y equals z. That's the same thing as x plus y equals z. Non-equation. Many of the answers are just simple. Made complex on purpose for business sake mostly. So I learned, and I have an entire startup built around programming, wanting to write a programming protocol that everyone, regardless of levels of literacy, can program in, and it's possible. You just need to remove some of the barriers that are in existence. First, the so-called barrier of developing a developed nation. That is a barrier already in the world of programming. Okay, you have someone from Gambia, he's a programmer, did the same PhD, and you suddenly feel that he's a lower level programmer than someone who's schooled in maybe Cambridge or something like that. And then the developer in Gambia embraces this and doesn't dream of free. Doesn't aspire of free because of the limitation that's may constitute, it may be subconscious as well, constitute setback. Even the entire internet is shaped like that. Some tools, you turn to the inanimate internet thinking that it will give you a level playing field, and there you see that IP location is a factor. You want to use Kickstarter, there is no Gambia. Check it out. You want to use Facebook crowdfunding to kickstart your projects, you're developing your programming project, there is no access to the crowdfunding feature. So it's a world thing. Even the inanimate things that you would expect, you will turn to as a place to to have a level playing field, you are told to scrum off. because of your IP location. So just remove all these barriers, and many things are simple. So I started to write the papers behind my project is colorless, neither black or white. When I make use of a list, is a gray list, neither black or white. Make use of an oracle, it doesn't have to be smart. Flaws allowed, as long as there's evolution. So anyway, I'll stop here. James, start your YouTube channel. First focus, you don't need to focus on, you don't need to go out, for a start. You may be shy, I feel that you may, so you don't need to start with going out. Just have Nadia ask you questions, and very simple questions, and just ponder and tap into what exists inside you and reveal these things. Sometimes the ever missing piece of my puzzle can lay in your head as redundant information, irrelevant to your own evolution, but constituting the ever missing piece of my puzzle. That's why I will not joke with even a casual conversation, because it can trigger these things out. I pop the right question and it touches that aspect of you. You pop it out, even subconsciously, and suddenly the ever missing piece of my puzzle is laid bare. So you can impact people even with simple interviews. You can tie to bag, for instance. What do you think about bag? What do you envision? What roles do you really want to play? There are so many things. Once you start getting in the groove of creating videos, like me, I don't know how to create videos of going outside, and I'm not confident, when it comes to that stuff, or doing vlogs and stuff like that. In fact, I created my own form of content called Ulog, hoping that there will become Uloggers from across the globe. Ulog becomes integrated in the dictionaries on every social media platform. So yes, you can start with simple interviews. I tell you, people will watch. People are looking out for you to come out. Same thing with Raheem. Raheem does his swag thing anytime he come out, and he's scarce. That scarcity is what makes people long for you. So maybe you integrate some adopt some scarcity mechanism with your YouTubing. So you give us one YouTube, like a trailer, then bomb us with one giant one and go offline again. Then come back. You can do that. Just make sure you're your primary audience. At the very least, YouTubing it's just valuable. It's evidence of your existence. Evidence of, besides the things it can do for the world as a whole, it's also relevant to your own evolution. You look back years later and see that, oh, this is where I was at this time, and this is where I am now. I do that a lot, and I marvel by how much evolution I have in just a few months. I wouldn't even know, but when I see a video from a few months back, I'll see that, oh, a portion of my, my startup, I'd never even thought of it a few months back. And, even my knowledge base, I don't read books. I stopped reading books in reality for some years, because I want to reveal the content in the notebooks, or on the down to earth. I want to exert on my human senses, my human virtues, and establish my own. And coincidentally, it relates with what exists in the world. I can tell, because the world is just made up of humans. You have an understanding of humans down to their elements, life and humans. Then there's nothing that is so complicated in reality. Nothing. Blockchain technology, people say it's hard. How is it hard? The first blockchain I went to, I didn't read the paper. They have something called a white paper. And I can explain it more than with illiteracy knowledge. I'm a legitimate illiteracy. More so than illiterate, because I know of humans that use it. I know of humans that may have to climb mountains to use data, and how you can dent his dream just by giving him a downvote. The geeks that created blockchain don't know of these things. So can they really create something that took cognizance of anyone in the evolution of their enterprise model? The answer is no. Google never did it. Even till date, Facebook never did it. Facebook has to buy the demography. Okay, WhatsApp has gathered 10 million people, they buy WhatsApp. Instagram has gathered another 50 million people, they buy Instagram. And even so, they have not been capable of catering to the entire world. So that's our role. When you're at BAG, you have a small office, gather with the boys, bring out something that is unique. Till date, I'm telling you the truth, there is no innovation that applies the paradigms in Africa. Africans themselves don't know Africa. To really see Africa, you need to share it with some of the nation. You need to, and you need to have very stubborn genes, and older generations did know Africa, but newer generations, gosh. Now, it doesn't take anything to buy the ambitions, just data. That's how much it costs these days, especially this new generation. That's why I will soon be there to really talk, because my generation is older. I look young, but I'm old, in my being, even in my age, and I did see these things when I was there, and that's all I was doing, even as a youngster. The boys know me. The boys know me, and the beautiful thing is Africa. They realize this thing. So, if they see you taking a path, But these days, Africans, they don't even want to read, or the sense of curiosity is redundant. The drive to aspire, the circumstances are very tough there, very tough. So I'm not to blame them. I don't blame anyone. I'll forgive 100 times. That's the life I've done. I've done time, so I understand all these things. But there's so much you can do, James. Start a YouTube channel, even if you keep it private. It doesn't matter. Just air the expanse of your mind. Sometimes you need to air it out so that you are told of it. Yes, you need to. Let me tell you something. When I was young, I used to write my ideas. I was very scrappy. So when I go to school, when I open my bag, the girls will see my bag, so many pieces of papers there, like dirty nonsense wrapped up papers. And they will tell me, "Oh, Terry, you're too dirty," and stuff like that. Okay, I'll smile. But they didn't know what I was doing. I had many innovations, ideas. And even when I was young, I don't know how I got all those insights. They'll tell me, "Oh, why don't you write it in a book?" But I wasn't about books, writing it in an organized book. Reasons, I wanted to write it in papers, different papers, so that each time I'm seeking an aspect of my dream, I can relive all aspects of my dream just to find that paper, evolve in the process, come across a redundant dream that I've forgotten. How did I develop these things as a young boy? Another reason is I wanted to encode my dream so that anybody that wants to trace any aspect of my dream needs to do the digging. I believed in digging, the grind, just innate to me. So I wanted to find an idea. I remember today that, I have an idea about soaps. I wrote it somewhere. But I cannot just flip pages and find it. I'll have to start unfolding all those dumping papers one by one. Read it, fold it back, dump it. Open the other one, maybe 100 papers. Sometimes you may have to go through the entire 100 to find that one. I was doing valid illusions then, every missing piece of your puzzle. Now, to find that one, I would have gone through all my ideas, or many of them, and it will be relieved. So, the video, you can do it. I have video YouTube like this. I just talk, it doesn't have views or anything, but I just talk so that at least, who knows, generations will get born may see it. If I'm not here, someone can continue the movement, all that. The video has turned very lengthy once again. I apologize for this. Stay awesome. I'm your boy Terry. When you do your YouTube channel, I will subscribe. Rikita's channel is growing very fast. It is bound to grow, so yours will grow as well. Your boy Terry, stay awesome. And you can use it to help, complement what your parents are doing, even in terms of the branding, but also in terms of income. We're in a different generation right now, so make use of these tools. Else, these tools will remain ordinary. If we don't see the Africans come out, use these tools to testimonial use, then because the world is shifting in these paradigms, technology is reaching a cap. Soon, all this technology will no longer garner interest. That is just the truth, because there is a peak already. We're getting close to it. What do you want to tell me again? Okay, fiction. Aliens will come from the sky and take over. Or create a phone that will read the mind. Is it more than that? What can you conceive of? Except we start to go into scary places where the world is headed if we don't play our roles. So please, let's play our roles. Come up with your channel. Let's go. Your boy Terry, stay awesome.